Alrighty. Rolling. Tick-tock, tock. Quiet on the sit. Zoom Room video sponsored by the BMC.
All right. Quiet on the set. You're listening to WRFB, Radio Free Britannia. And this is Lunch, coming to you live from Deltona, Florida. Here are the dynamic duo themselves, Laz and Jack.
All right. And greetings, everybody. This is Laz and Jack. Well, you know what happens. Phone calls, 12 o'clock meeting. And of course, he's got to do what the boss wants, you know. So Econdis is filling that seat today. And yes, I've got that sound Econdis somewhere. I know it's on one of the soundboards. Just got a new soundboard in here, and I thought it was in here. I'm looking for it real quick. Looking for it, but I don't see it. I got the charge. But I don't have that other one. Anyway, greetings and welcome to today's show. Another edition of Lunch with Laz and Jack right here on NBNN. And of course, welcome to all you folks joining us. CC sitting there, joining us on the lot. What's up, CC? I see CC's got some interesting things for sale out on the forums. Looking forward. Did you sell that Duke Dungeon Room yet? Is that still available out on your out on your merchant? Sold it. All right. Figured I'd put it out there for you. But yeah, don't forget to go out and check out CC and CC's goods. And of course, I've got some gold floating around left over from one of your donations. I think there's 40,000 gold to give away. So we'll give that away sometime today as well. So let's go ahead and get the first giveaway open. Type exclamation, I love free shit. Also sold a Grand City Chateau. Yeah, I'm sure that didn't last too long. Either of those items are nice items to have. Yeah, I'll tell you what, there's CC comments, you can't see it, it's hidden behind me. The game is booming. And I'm just checking. I just go by what I see comes up in my mailbox every day, and I've got continual sales. Somebody sold me some of their crowns just today. Selling bundles of scrolls, people buying mounts, and I can tell there's new players coming in from the people who are buying the mounts, and selling several of those a week as well. Which is just really nice to see, folks. Actually, I mean, you look at this, mounts. I mean, I'm selling horses like crazy, and I know I'm not selling them to all you folks out there, because all you folks are hip folks who, of course, already got all that cool stuff the minute it came out, right? I know yous are. I know yous are. But yeah, we're going to be giving away some gold today, as well as the usual routine. Don't forget, you make that bar move right there. We'll do more raffles. Or more you donate, the more raffles do we get to. And of course, we'll see if we get some marbles to crash the stream again today. Been researching it, but there's just no answer. It's a Unity thing. Unity just causes stuff to go kaput sometimes, and running multiple Unity program simultaneously, I'm sure, is not helping much. But let's get started. First thing I got for you all today is we've got an announcement coming from Elgarian out there, and if you guys and gals happen to be purchasing that flambeau that's out there, let's go take a look at that. Where is that? Is that in the vault that we saw that? Yes. In the vault. If you buy the flambeau in the vault, you'll notice that it comes with 2 emotes, and those emotes are actually identical emotes. Identical. Yes. So if you happen to purchase that while it is on sale and in the vault, Algarian says, do not fret. Not to fret, because anyone who purchased one or will purchase one on the store before it leaves on Thursday will notice that it has 2 copies of the same emote. Once the sale ends on Thursday, they'll send out the missing emote to all those that purchased one via in-game mail. We'll put all the data in and proceed with delivering out the missing ones later this week or early next. So don't fret if you see that and you've got it. You will automatically get upgraded, and you'll get that sent to you after it leaves the store. So they'll have a record of who bought it, who purchased it, and they'll be able to go back and deliver your proper emotes for the flambeau. Yeah, I've got a couple of those floating around somewhere. Somewhere. But anyway, Econdas, I know you had a little interesting tidbit out there, something I guess most people don't notice, and I didn't notice. Actually, I saw it and I didn't have it queued up because just a passing word, but I kind of noticed that town criers do not give you a cha-ching gold coin sound when you get your money from the criers like you get from other places when you do purchases or get gold dropped into your account, which I really just I never pay attention to most of that. Most of the time, I've got the game volume either muted or so low that I can barely hear it. I mean, even as it is now. Nom, 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 nom. Salty. That's right. Salty, Tina. Salty. But we have more salty topics going on in Discord over here? No, we're still up to date there. But yes, let's go ahead and do that too. Anybody wants, don't forget you can join us in Discord. Come on in, say hello. You got questions, want to say something, you want to announce something, come on in here, say hello to me, and talk about it. But anyway, yes, a couple interesting things out there to talk about. But let's talk about, we're going to jump over to, make sure I've got the right area queued. We were talking about this earlier this week with Shroud of the Avatar.net shutting down. And with ShroudedAvatar.net shutting down, there was several features that some players liked and used out there. There was a sales sheet, what things were selling for, price calculator, all sorts of other useful utilities that some players found handy. And this comes from Eileen Dragonfire, Allie. She chimes in after this and says, "We really need this site. And no, it's not the time to introduce auction houses or vendor searches with prices." And of course, you know, um, I've got feelings both ways on that. Um, so that explains the hijack. Traveler 13 says if you ever go to StrategyAvatar.net, it goes back to Marquis Dragon's website. Arca says, I think this or any time is a good time to introduce vendor item search, which is something that's been asked for over and over again. I'll miss the merchant stats. It was very helpful. And then Allie goes, as long as prices aren't listed, this is exactly why, from Ralph Coster. And Ralph Coster, if you guys know who that is, he's from Ultima Online, Star Wars Galaxies, and recently named, what was he recently named? Game God of the Year. What was it? I've got him queued. Bear with me. Online Game Legend at the Game Developers Online Choice Awards. Just a quick bio on Ralph for you here, because we're going to be diving into his topic of, do auction houses suck? Do auction houses suck? Now, this is coming from a guy who has worked with several platforms, and some of the there's no L. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Econdis? You're adding an L, Laz? Oh, Ralph. Yeah, Ralph, not Ralph. Yeah, sorry, Ralph. Ralph, yes. My bad. Ralph, yes. The eyes, it's one of those. But you all know who I'm talking about. You can, yeah, thank you. Uh, yeah, Brooklyn Freudian slip, because it looks like Ralph. Ralph, Ralph. Anyway, do auction houses suck? Now, of course, Economist has chimed in here going, he disagrees. It's a great opportunity to introduce vendor search. And vendor search, yes, Raf Coster. Sure, you can chime in. You can do that while you're in a meeting, but he's probably listening too in the background while he's on a mass meeting. But anyway, moving right along. Econdas, yeah, absolutely. Vendor search, for items has been discussed. How do you do it? Do you do it universally? Where, do you do it by town? That's the yeah. There you go. Laz speak. How do you introduce it first off? Okay. Um, and of course, well, this goes into a whole bunch of what, why, and why not. But let's just get into this real quick. Once upon a time, there was a game set in a science fiction universe where the economy was very important. Its name was not Eve. In this game, players could, if they so choose, run a business. They could designate a building as a shop, hire an NPC bot to stand in it, give the bot items to hold for sale, specify the prices at which those items would sell, customize the bot in a variety of ways, make use of advertising facilities to market the shop, yeah, just keep that in mind, and decorate the shop any way they pleased. With this basic facility, emergent gameplay tied to the way that the crafting system worked resulted in players who chose to run shops being able to do things like build supply chains, manage regular inventory, develop regular customer bases, build marketing campaigns, and in general, play eliminate lemonade stand writ large. Okay. And of course, don't forget CC and CC's Bazaar would be one of those great places in the game where you see people, see them using the advertising available in the game, the power of word of mouth through our show, power of donating, and of course, power of the forums, and of course, having locations throughout the universe. Uh, anyway, um, yep, shot. I was at the peak. At that peak, fully half of the players in Star Wars Galaxies ran a shop. Nearly half, or fully half. Now, most of these players engaged in a system in a shallow way. Advanced versions of the capabilities cited above were unlocked based on RPG style advancement. Had to choose to do a lot of merchant activity in order to get merchant XP, sort of like in Shroud the Avatar, where you got to do a lot of crafting. Yeah, right, Jack. You wish he was on the port team doing that kind of programming. That would be fantastic. But can't afford that boy, I'm sure. But anyway, so similar to like we do crafting experience, you got to do a lot of crafting to get merchant experience in order to unlock more advanced advertising capabilities, etc. Now, I like how he keeps coming back to advertising and being able the more you do, the more you're able to advertise and push your wares out into the gaming world. But even a dabbler could run a small business. Advanced players actually made the economy their entire game, either working solo in highly organized guilds, managing oil fields worth of harvests, factory towns worth of crafting stations, and whole malls. The economy in something like World of Warcraft, which is very different in character, the peak populations on a shard in each game were comparable through the course of WoW, achieved far, far higher subscriber numbers in aggregate, but the peak of the economy play in WoW is essentially basic arbitrage, timing the market. There are several factors make the functioning of two economies radically different, of course, and these compare in several different games out there. But in WoW, all the best stuff is spawned as a result of combat. In Star Wars Galaxy, it was crafted by players. In WoW, nothing breaks and you outlevel it. In Star Wars Galaxy, everything decayed. In WoW, most of the valuable items aren't actually items, they're buffs or skills in fancy dress. They aren't transferable to other players. In Star Wars Galaxy, there was no soul binding, and anything could be traded or gifted. We're going to go heritage items, just chuck them, because man knows what he's talking about. Fundamentally, though, the biggest difference has to do with the basic approach taken. You see, in Star Wars Galaxy, we designed the economy to be a game, not a side effect. In particular, the merchant class was created to fulfill a fantasy of running your own business. It had features like decorating your shop because that is part of the fantasy of being a shopkeeper. Amen to that. In a world such as that, to build up the equivalent of Watto's Junkyard or Trade Federation. I don't know the references to Watto's Junkyard, but I get it. And this meant that, above all, one feature could not exist: the auction house. Now, why could not the auction house exist? Get to that in a minute. Let's get to some comments here. Maybe they would have fixed some things instead of ripping them out. Red Guard conversationalist makes you wonder if the monsters might attack house at night or something. Oh, that's an interesting one. And Bridge Troll loves free shit. That's right. But yes, hence what we could not have the auction house. I should scroll up so you catch up. If you think running a business is a game, then think about what you need in order to make it fun. Game grammar tells us that you're probably playing this as asynchronous parallel game, meaning that You are measuring yourself against other player progress in the same opponent you fight. So basically, who has the bigger stick, right? What is the opponent? Anyway, moving on. Remember, the game provides statistically varied opposition within a common framework. If there's no variation, we call it a puzzle, not a game. Because of this, we invested a lot of effort into creating ever varying economic situations. Every resource was randomly generated off of master types. We defined iron and gave it statistical ranges. Different types of iron would spawn with different names, but they would all work as iron in any recipe that called for such. This meant you might find a high quality vein of iron or a low quality vein. Love to see some more of that stuff. Even more, it might be high quality only for specific purposes. Resource types were finite. You could literally mine out all the high quality ore there was, and it would just be gone. A new ore would new iron might be spawned eventually, sometimes very eventually, but of course it would be rolled up with different characteristics and in different places. Resources were placed used freshly generated Perlin noise maps. I don't know what a Perlin noise map is, but I'll be researching that here today. Crafters gambled with their resources, generating a variety of quality items of varying quality that were partially dependent on the resources and the recipe. So, depending on the resource, again, sort of like Shroud of the Avatar, but not with different degrees of potency. Interesting. All in all, this meant that the mechanic could never rely on that a merchant could never rely on having the best item or the most desirable item. Indeed, most desirable could exist on several axes, meaning there were varying customer preferences in terms of what they liked in a blaster. Basically, what do you like in a golf club? What do you like in a sword? What do you like in a blunt weapon? Do you like a mace? Do you like a tire iron? Do you like a baseball bat? What is your desired, there you go, Mom. My mom says she loved the Star Wars Galaxy system. Pop a harvester and leave it for a few days, and when it ran out, move it and survey what was there. And again, I think our mining leaves a lot to be desired compared to other systems I've seen out there, but we're not going to get into that right now. Because we get to a point here as to what we're getting for to the end run. So anyway, the term desirability meant something to different people. Word spread through the informal means as to the locations of rare ores to sell them on the market. For rare ore deposits, people fought battles over them. People hoarded minerals just to sell them on the market. Once they had become rare, and of course, they organized sites like the now defunct swgcraft.com, which monitored all the fluctuating data and fed it back in tiny feeds for other sites and even apps to consume, such as this one. And he gives us a link to an app that they use there. Sort of again like the apps that were used on the ShadowTheAvatar.net site. People would input information about sales and other stuff, and then they would, it would output stuff for them, essentially helping to run the marketplaces. So, anyway, moving on. It was widely used by hardcore business players, much like a Bloomberg terminal is used by someone who plays the market. And then it all went away. Why did it all go away? You see, a key feature of the system was that the central NPC run shops were not permitted to interfere with this, nor was the system spawn allowed to drop high quality items as loot. The result was that if you wanted the coolest weapon, you had to go hunt through player run shops like a mad antiquer on a summer drive. The results of the above system, you see, was an economy where it was very, very hard to see the gestalt of the trade economy, you really had to hunt to find out if you had found a bargain. For someone who just wanted to buy a frickin' blaster, it was very inconvenient. In other words, we had local pricing in full effect. This meant that the individual merchant who, remember, was there to fulfill the fantasy of running a small business could get away with not being great at it. Right. And you too can become a merchant anywhere. um, In the real world, we are rapidly approaching a perfect information economy. I can instantly look up the varying prices of something I want, determine the one with the lowest actual price cost to me, price, shipping, time to arrival, location, etc., and get exactly what I want. It's a world optimized for the buyer. Okay? And that's the kind of world we live in now. The experience for the seller, though, is not generally awesome unless they happen to have the scale that drives victory in a winner takes all scenario. The big guys can essentially dictate prices by undercutting everyone. They dominate the visible market and can drown out the smaller or more unique offerings. In this sort of world, a funky used bookstore with the awesome decor tends to die, and it doesn't matter how much fun the shop owner had in coming up with said decor. Star Wars Galaxy eventually did put in a server-wide auction house, responding to Worlds of Warcraft, and it made life easier for buyers, but it created a perfect information economy, and all that complexity and variation that was present in the market earlier fell away. Small shopkeepers were shut out of markets. If that happens to you in game, you don't find another line of work, quit. So do auction houses suck? No, not if your game is about getting. It is a better experience for the gamer interested in getting. Right. So if you're interested in getting the best, baddest, meanest, whatever, then auction houses don't suck. But the fantasy of running a shop or being a business tycoon is not just about the getting, it's about the having of relationships, of an empire, of a well-oiled machine. It's about running things. It's not about working your way up the chain of gewgaws. The gewgaws are a way to keep score, but you play the game for the sake of the game. And Star Wars Galaxy was not a game about getting. After all, everything you could get in the game eventually broke. That's right, things should decay. It was about having your shops, your town, your supply chain, your loyal customers, your collectible Hayat dragon skull or a poster or a miniature plush bantha, yeah, like the Christmas special. When the merchant changes went into Star Wars Galaxy, the merchants went out. Getting is kind of addictive, but for the mass market audience, it may be the path for greater acceptance and higher profits. Me, I like funky bookstores, but I have to admit, usually buy from Amazon. It's convenient. The lesson here is that sometimes features that make things better for one player make them dramatically worse for another. Every time you make a design choice, you are closing as many doors as you open. In particular, you should always say to yourself, I'm adding this feature for player convenience. How many people live for the play that this inconvenience affords? The small shopkeeper that socializes, who needs extra 5 minutes to have spending you waiting for a boat, never quest docks the players who live to help and can't once every item is soul bound and every fight is group locked, they can't even step in to save your lives. Yeah, I wonder where I've seen that before. The role player who cannot be who they wish to be because their dialogue is pre-written. The person of his proud knowledge of the dangerous mountain who is bypassed by a teleporter. The person who wants to be lost in the woods and cannot because there is a mini-map. And this is just a very interesting piece on reasons why. Yeah, the Christmas special. Are we thinking of the same Christmas special? Is that what he's referencing? That yeah, the plush bantha on the Christmas special. Okay, I guess that makes sense now. I got that one. Tina, yeah, do you see a lot of the things that to dos and not to dos, and why people should be passionate about this, that, the other thing? Absolutely. Uh, so yeah, basically, while one game does it one way, one game does it the other way. You gotta really look at what it is that you want your game to be, especially here in Shroud of the Avatar. Do we want it to be about getting, or do we want to go back to um, player crafted are the best items in game, and stop creating artifacts and stop creating heritage items that are locked to accounts and stop, and open up the marketplaces and kickstart the market again, and because you know me buying something and then eventually wearing it out or just not wanting it anymore and wanting to get rid of it, and I can't because it's account bound, soul locked, whatever you want to call it, is ridiculous. This game started out as a free to trade, free to you know transfer this to that, this person to that person. And I don't know why we decided to start putting a bind on that stuff and started eating some cheese and binding up the works because, yeah. Yeah, heck, but the bypassing in the mountain pass, and eventually we put that in. Yeah. Now, there, and again, PC, on no trade items, I can understand like some of the newbie items. So you start a new character and you get those 10 potions, or that first set of newbie gear that is a no trade item. Those things I understand. It's your starting equipment, um, and that's a no trade. Stuff that's decorative, and again, we've seen this and we have this that are bought in the store, aren't lootable or losable in any way because um, that's just the properties they have. So while they're in your inventory, they can't be lost or sold in a combat situation. So um, stuff like that, I'm all for. But things that you just totally can't trade, if I bought it again, that's like telling me that when I purchased my phone, if I want to get rid of my phone, which has been in this case since the day it left the box, it's in pristine condition inside the case. If I wanted to sell it for half price, a quarter the price, whatever, you're telling me I have to pay you a percentage of what I originally paid for it just so I can resell it. I think that's just ridiculous. Yeah. No, not even an activation fee. I've got a fully unlocked phone. Okay, it's I own the phone. It's mine. Of course, there's a big argument about who owns what and right to repair and all that stuff, and that's a whole. Right to repair is a big deal out there, and Apple really infringes upon your right to repair your product that you purchased because they won't sell you the parts to fix their phone that they sold to you. Yeah. And for those reasons, I'll never, ever purchase an Apple product. But that's just, you know, um, yeah. My phone, one of the prerequisites, I have to have a battery that's changeable. I got to be able to open the phone, take it out, change the battery. Okay, I lied. The phone has come out of the case, but you know what I'm saying. It's in good condition. But I keep batteries because I use my phone a lot. And I'm not going to be sitting there tied to a plug when my phone dies. I want to be able to swap out the battery and go. I do a lot of recording on my phone, so I chew through batteries. I can't stand to wait around for 2 hours when my phone charges to capture something while I'm out at an event or something. I need to be able to swap the battery out and get another 2 hours worth of footage, not sit around with my thumb up my ass waiting for my phone to charge. Yeah. So things like that. But the fact is, if I want to resell my phone, and one of the things, again, unlock phone, CC, you know what that is. A lot of people don't know that the phone you bought is probably tied to your carrier. You can't give it to somebody else to use on another carrier. I could take my phone, any carrier, plug a SIM card into it, and I'm good. I don't have to stick with it. I don't, I own the physical phone. You can't do that when your service provider owns your phone. Yeah, thumb up your ass. That get you? Did that get your attention, Yaz? Okay. I know Jack's not here with all the profanity today, so. So yeah, I never understood that. But the fact that, when and if I want to get rid of this, I can, and I don't have to pay nobody. That's why your carrier lets you trade in your phone for a credit. Um, it's ridiculous, and it's a silly idea. Um, Again, another thing that, as much as it's becoming popular, I tend to refuse to participate in it, and that's it's subscription software. Okay, I understand you put a lot of time and energy developing your software, and when you sell me your software, I expect to own a license for that software for the time that I use that software. I don't feel the need to pay you every year to continue to use that software. I'm sorry, it doesn't make sense. I don't want to lease your software. I purchased a license. But, and if you're purchasing a leased software, then maybe you should be looking at some different software. That's all I'm saying. Open source, great stuff, by the way. Open source, beautiful stuff, and I love supporting open source developers. But, I can't support people who want to sell me the same thing over and over and over, and they never change their software. I'm sorry, I just can't. I can't see it. Paying for Microsoft Office, which hasn't changed since 2003, and paying a yearly fee for the same product that I bought and have a full license for in 2003 and 2005 and 2007 and 2013. I've got license for all those. So why do I have to keep paying you yearly for licenses? I understand the different versions, but no, I stopped doing that. Anyway, you all get why auction houses equal bad. Bad. While I do think a vendor search is in need, again, that's where the biggest question comes down. Do we make it a universal search where you can just see every place where you're looking for a specific item, especially for those hard to find items? Hopefully, again, Ilgarian is doing some work, and I'm expecting, yes, we are 2 days away from the next release, and I'm expecting quite the announcement on some enhancements, some QOLs, lots of bug fixes, and we'll get some other stuff that Chris has been working on here momentarily too. But how do we implement a search feature if we were to go that way? Do we do it now? Yeah, and that brings me to the next part of the auction house. Um, yeah, auction houses in some places are defined as a real auction house. You put an item up for sale, and it goes to the highest bidder. It's listed for sale for X amount of time, and that's an auction house. I don't see a problem with that kind of auction house. But an auction house that the others are referring to, which is basically player listings, basically an auction search engine, which pricing search engine. It's not actually an auction house. I think a true auction house would be really, really cool to have in game, where if you had something that was really well crafted, or you had high-end rares and artifacts, that you could just put them out there on the auction house and see what they get every day, and do it that way. That would give us a better price uh, point, I think, for what people are willing to pay, and get an idea of what they're worth listing at. That's just me on that one. Tina, yes, I know that. There's actually been several that have been running, and there's actually one that's still running right now. Let's see. Let me see. I know I've got it here. I know I've got it here. Where is it? I get the notifications for it every week. Of course, I can't find it here. I can't find it. Yeah, right. Exactly. It's during the meeting time as well. For the life of me, though, hang on. I'm doing a search real quick. Doing a search. Unless this happens. Oh, no, you're the one who's saying, yeah. Yeah, not coming up at this point. Not coming up. But I know I see it in my mail. My mail is a little bit messy right now. A little bit messy right now. And that's another interesting thing, Econdis. And at this point, I don't see why we wouldn't do that. Tying all the public vendors together into one system, so that when you list it in one town, it listed in all the towns. Because yeah, I can tell you, I've been out to several towns where there's not a single. Well, I don't know. When was the last time you were down the vendor over here by the crafting station? He actually got anything for sale on him down there, Econdis? I don't know. Just giggles and grins. Let's go take a quick look. I haven't looked at this guy in ages, and all the other towns. Yes, we're leaving a lot, folks. Run down to the crafting station for a second. Boost on it. Let's go run down and look at this real quick. I don't even know if anybody's really even using these guys anymore. Owl's Head Public Vendor, which would be one of our the equivalent. Yeah, see, that actually surprises me that there's actually that many items listed. But again, you know, every person can list 10 items, and let's see how many people are listing. Yeah, we have one person who's got an item that's 2 days out, and another. There's only two people listing items, and I'm assuming they're new because I don't know either of these off the top. But I mean, if this guy was hooked into a system where you could place something up for sale and place it at, you know, hey, it's an auction price. You know, price starts at 1 gold, goes up from there. Hey, Jack the Lamplighter, nice. Do you throw something on those from time to time? Do they ever sell, Tina? I don't think I've ever actually put anything that's sold on those vendors. Maybe because I've just, you know, I run my own shops, my own inns, and all that good stuff. Holy crap, look at the size of that pumpkin. DC says he buys a lot of items off of. Well, CC, you spend that time as you know, and again, back to the you know, coaster story is yeah, the part of running the shop, making the shop, stocking the vendors, tending to the sales, you know, getting your items made. You know, to me, that's where the fun of it is, you know, making sure I've got inventory and, you know, making sure I've got what I need and all that good stuff. But my philosophy was location, 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 which is to be everywhere. And you know, with a lot of effort in the beginning to get all that up and running, now everything runs basically like a well-oiled machine. Is I have a basic stock that I put on just about all my vendors and all the locations. Um, and then when something sells comes into my inbox that sells, I just do a sort by town. So let's just say Sultan, and I'll go out to Sultan and I'll just replace each and every one of those items that were on the vendor it was on. And I have 4 different vendors on my lot in Sultan. So one just sells one item, one sells another item, a couple sell mixed items, but I'll restock those items back. And that's what my vendors sell. I don't add or, I keep a static inventory. So if something sells, I'll go out and I'll restock these wooden storage chests so that it maintains my stock level of my inventory. And of course, maybe it's time to write How to Make Thousands in Gold Volume 2, because some things have changed over time, and um, you know, tricks like selling things that people's needs, like consumables, which I don't go into detail, but selling a chest is one thing. People need so many chests, but after you sell them so many chests, they usually don't need any more. But that's not true. It depends. I sell a lot of them still, but that's all again thanks to the new folks. And I got to say, weekly, I'm doing 100 plus or minus sales every week. I'm just off my vendors. Some weeks, vendors out in the far reaches sell stuff. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes I go, oh, I forgot I even had a vendor out there. It's been so long. Um, it was got stuff everywhere. But anyway, before we start wrapping up here, let's go ahead and jump out to the Tweeterverse real quick. We got a couple updates from Chris, and let's refresh that to see if anything else has popped up there recently. And it has. Okay, so we have another update. So let's jump out to the Tweeterverse. Updates from Chris happening today. I think we covered up to yesterday. Yep. Is 5 hours ago. Just discovered another thing player adventure level is currently used for. Remarkable. Currently, your adventure level divided by 8 gets added to your summon pet level. Discovered while working on sexying up summonses. Probably killing it and replacing it with something else. And what was that there? John Paxlayer. Oh, no, it was Waldo. Waldo. 200 bits. Thank you, Waldo. 200 bits is going to stop us for a moment. That'll trigger vote. Okay, let's scroll down and pick one at random here. Oh, there's so many. Okay, here we go. Quotes from Lazarus Long. One man's magic, other man's engineering. Supernatural, a word. Quotes. And moving right along back to the Twitterverse. Just discovered a bug that explains a big part of why summon pets were not behaving as expected. Cadmath. Skill specialization bonuses for pets were not working. All pets ignored expected bonuses from mastery for at least all elementals working on a fix. And first pass of Operation Make Summon Pets Not Suck is complete. Make Summon Pets Not Suck is complete. That should be better for both spec and non-spec players. Damage should be up noticeably. Wisp effect should stack 3 times now, and also add a 0.1 bonus to melee critical damage, 0.3 when it hits 3 times. So Chris is out there dinking around with some more stuff while we're supposedly in lockdown. 2 days out before. But no, always good to see new stuff getting, old stuff getting fixed. And of course, Shroud mats finding out that they weren't working properly and getting updated and fixed as well. But that's what Chris has got for us today. Desire won't suck now? I don't know. Desire or Desiree? Yeah, I know. I know. Meanwhile, it's time to remind you about the NBNN Shroud Avatar Community Calendar. Hosted on NBNN.info, brought to you by ShroudMarketplace.com. For all your virtual vendable goods, go check out ShroudMarketplace.com. Cheap stuff. All sorts of goods and services. We'll tell you more about that here shortly. But don't forget the Shroud Avatar Community Calendar hosted on NBNN.info with all the information of stuff from people who want their stuff known. So if you've got a calendar, let me know. I'll get it listed there. You got an event, one off, don't have your own calendar, shoot me a line. I'll get it listed there for you so that people can check it out and look it up and see what's going on every Monday through Friday. 12s and 6s around the clock. Lunch with Laz and Jack. 12 o'clock simulcast on the in-game radio as well as the live stream. The rest are repeats at 7 p.m. The 70s at 7 on WRFB and at 10 p.m. Record Room, where you can get yourself a rock and roll history lesson every Monday through Friday at 10. My old man and his partner Tom bringing you some good times. And of course, you're tuned in to Lunch with Laz and Jack, minus Jack today because got a meeting at noon. I'm telling you, you got to put the foot down and tell those guys, you got another gig. You're doing a lot longer than them. Nah, I know it's a job, it's a paying job, it's a good paying job. I don't blame them. I'd stop doing this if somebody gave me that kind of money to do that kind of stupid stuff. Anyway, yeah, I don't want the headache. Don't want the headaches. Thanks to your support, you've kept us here 6+ years, still going, and we appreciate it. And of course, gotta say thank you to all you tuning in each and every day for the laughs, for the fun, for the games, and for the news, and for the shenanigans right here on NBNN. We do appreciate it. We do thank you all. The BMC, Britannian Mining Company, wants you to go check out Black Rock Cove, located in the Quell region and near the town of Etzer, conveniently located next to Mines Jewel here. If you're looking for guild pricing on those crafting goods that you need and you're too lazy to go look for them yourself, you can get guild pricing across the board out at Black Rock Cove. And of course, if you're looking to open a shop, you can find yourself a lot, set up shop and start your own market, start selling your own goods as well. So go check them out today. WRFB Radio Free Britannia back on the in-game radios. Thanks to Econdas. Got to say thank you again. Bodacious with 100 bits. Love you. Thank you, babe. Love it. All those bits keep us going here. That's right. Every little bit helps. 1 bit, 100 bits, 1,000 bits. Take it all. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Shroud Music for ABC files. If you're looking for ABC files, go check out shroudmusic.com. Nothing fancy, just a place where you can download a bunch of ABC files that I put up there, most of my collection. Which reminds me, I got to link my data folders back up because I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. Hence why I couldn't play any music today. But you can also share your own creations out there with the world. and upload at shroudmusic.com. Again, nothing fancy, just a little helpful site where you can ABC files for the game. Capheus's Wares, one of the many shops taking advantage of the advertising power of game mechanics. And of course, Capheus's Wares, one of many shops out on shroudmarketplace.com. 200 plus individual shop owners each. Yeah, what's the word I'm looking for? Each shop owner has their own goods and services, and of course, they're the responsible parties for those goods and services. So don't blame the marketplace if Capheus doesn't send your stuff out in 30 seconds, gets your order. Capheus's fault, not the marketplace. Just kidding, Capheus. Most items on the marketplace, though, well, most vendors are really prompt and get your deliveries within the hour. And again, I've never had a problem selling at Shroud Marketplace, and you won't either, because it's all handled seamlessly, easily, and all you got to do is list it, forget it, store it in a locker, and move on. Capheus's Ware is one of the many shops out there, and of course, taking advantage of the advertising because we spit it out in replays on the radio for people to hear throughout the day. Powerful, powerful. But of course, don't forget the shroudmarketplace.com for all your virtual vendable goods. If you're looking for a fresh account, you're looking for clothing, coinage, crafting goods, deco, housing, pets, rares, or services, it's all available out on shroudmarketplace.com for you to get your hands on. If you're looking for crowns of the obsidian, you can usually find them cheaper. Let's take a look at crowns today. Let's go take a look at the crown market. $64 for 10,000 crowns available on the marketplace. One of the many shops, just 1,000 crowns, $8.66, cheaper than you can get from the store. Available on Shroud Market. I love this. Of course, services. Don't forget all sorts of services from leveling services, moms, or refining services, because mom is the patron saint of lazy avatars everywhere. Because if you don't want to do the work, mom will do it for a small fee. For a small fee, $2.50, she'll refine all the ore you got, all in bulk, and give it back to you in nice, shiny, you to go start working with. Check out Mom's shop. Check out all the other shops. Check out my shop, Lazarus Long's Weddings and More, because it's not just weddings. It's a whole lot more. If you're looking to get hitched in game, come see me. I've got everything you need. Custom vows for the special day, custom lot setup. You name it, we've got it. On a seaside wedding, we got you covered. On a lakeside wedding, we've got you covered. On a balloon wedding, an airship wedding, we've got you covered. Want to get married on a boat? We can do that too. All sorts of stuff. You name it, we can do it. Lazarus Long's Weddings and More. Because as I said, it's just weddings. It's a whole lot more. Need some more cowbell? Go out to Lazarus Long's Weddings and More. We've got cowbell. More cowbell. That's right. And all the other shops. Again, each shop independently owned and operated out on the marketplace, and a great place to get your hands on some goodies. Of course, another great place to get your hands on some goodies is right here on the lot in this chest. And you can always come over and take a look at my chest or Jack's chest and play Let's Make a Deal. I should probably name my chest just like his, Make a Deal with Jack. Mine was auction items originally, because I was going to auction them off. I got to say thank you to everybody for joining us here today, and thank you for joining us each and every day right here on NBNN as we roll these beautiful credit footage right here on NBNN. Make sure you're raffled up, folks. Gonna go ahead and gonna do two raffles. First raffle is gonna be 20,000 gold, courtesy of CC and CC's Bazaar. And then the second one is going to be mystery game key, just because I can today. So we're gonna pull two. First one's gonna win 20,000 gold. Second one's gonna win the mystery game key. Everybody got that? Everybody give me a thumbs up if you all got that. They bite me, Laz, if you don't carry the way. I gotta say thank you to Waldo for the bits. Gotta say thank you to Bodacious for the bits today. Thank you guys. Do appreciate it. And of course, again, thank you all for joining us. Make sure you're raffled up. Give you all about 10 more seconds. Thank you, Bo. All right, we're going to go ahead and close this giveaway out. We're going to pick ourselves winners. First winner, 20,000 golds going to BT, the bridge troll himself. Congrats, BT. You've got yourself 20,000 gold kerns. And next winner is going to be 9. Congratulations, you are the winner of Mystery Game Key. Let's see what you've got for a Mystery Game Free Key today. And you've got yourself a copy of Septerra Core. Septerra Core. Congratulations to you. And I'll get that to you right after we get off the air here. So congratulations. That's $4.99 on Steam. That's huge thanks for joining us and following us right here on NBNN. But we'll be back with more tomorrow right here on NBNN. What's that? I think he does. I think he might have a. Is it under the bridge or at the bridge? I don't know. Bridge troll. That's right. But we'll be back with more tomorrow right here on NBNN. Until then, I'm Laz. Axe off at a meeting today, and we are NBNN. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow.